Well, it's Masters Week in November, which is weird, but also totally awesome because, I mean, out here, it doesn't really look any different in November or in April, really. I mean, still snow on the ground, still can't golf. And a close second to being able to golf is watching golf on TV. And of course, the best golf to watch on TV is definitely the Masters. One of the things that's always intrigued me about the Masters is the food. And the thing that I've always been drawn to is the pimento cheese sandwich, because I have no idea what that is. I've never eaten one. I live in Canada, not Georgia, and it's just not a thing up here. So I thought it'd be fun to make up a batch of pimento cheese and try it out. But I'm not much of a chef, so I decided to enlist the help of my good friend Scott Nooch, who has a YouTube channel, From the Nooch.
All right, let me set the stage. When my brother and I were little kids, my mom invented a drink called Jello tea. And when I get back inside, I'm gonna show you how to make it.
And he's gonna be helping me out making this pimento cheese sandwich recipe. One of the problems is though, we didn't actually find a recipe. We just found the wrapper for a pimento cheese sandwich online and saw the ingredients. And we had to kind of guess at how much to put in. Also making it challenging is we're in the middle of a global pandemic, so we couldn't actually get together to make the sandwich. So I made a sandwich, he made a sandwich, and we're gonna talk about whose sandwich was better. Although I can't really taste his sandwich, and he can't really taste my sandwich, which is probably good for him. According to the package, there's not a lot in a pimento cheese sandwich. You've got cheese, you've got mayonnaise, cream cheese, there's some pimentos, of course, and then for seasoning it's simple. It's salt, it's garlic powder, it's onion powder, and they call for cayenne pepper and black pepper. I could just find black pepper, so I went with this. I grabbed my stand mixer, put on the paddle attachment, and tossed the cream cheese in there. Now, one of the things that made this difficult is I had no idea of how much to put in for any ingredient. So I went with about half a cup of mayonnaise, I guess that just felt right, and then I went to the cheese. I had grated some Monterey Jack cheese and some sharp cheddar cheese. There's a lot of cheese in this. It was probably like a pound of cheese by the time I was done, so it definitely is not for the faint of heart. And you'll notice, of course, I made the machine do all the work, in no way offsetting some of the cheese that I was about to eat and maintaining all my strength and energy for tasting later on. I guess I got it to about this sort of consistency before I decided it was time to go with the pimentos, which are sort of weird. They're like a chopped up red pepper, which hasn't really been pickled. It's just in a sauce or a brine or something. So I mixed that in, and it did give it a really cool sort of orange color. Very processed looking, very neat. And of course you got to make sure you sort of scrape that down every once in a while so it doesn't all stick to the sides. You want it nice and thoroughly combined. After that, I wanted to make sure it had some time to sit in the fridge and rest for a bit, so I threw some saran wrap on it and I put it into the fridge. And a little bit later on, I took it out and I made a sandwich. One of the things I wasn't sure about was how much to put on. I think I went a little thick for this sandwich. In the future, I'd probably go a little bit thinner because this stuff is pretty heavy and pretty intense. The white bread is helping out here, of course, by providing absolutely no nutritional value, but don't worry, there's lots of calcium in that cheese. And there we have it, a pimento cheese sandwich. It wasn't too pretty to look at. It was a little kind of like a cross between egg salad and a taco. So it was kind of like eating a cheese ball between two slices of white bread, which wasn't horrible, but it wasn't the greatest either. Mine was also pretty salty, but it definitely got better after it sat in the fridge for a couple of hours. Some other members of the household were interested, but not completely sure. So let's check over with Scott and see if he fared any better than I did.
What's a pimento sandwich? It's like, does it have olives in it? And am I even gonna like it? So just a little while ago, Brad brought over the ingredients and we're gonna go check them out and see what we're working with. So these are diced pimentos. I guess they're not olives, they look like little red peppers. And we put the bread in the toaster. Now we gotta get our spread ready. All right, so Brad said it's some sort of master secret. My mom doesn't seem to know how to make a pimento cheese sandwich, so we're just gonna basically throw everything Brad gave us into this mix. There's nothing these guys like more than cheese. Well, actually the cat likes bread. Hey, don't be shy. The garlic. Everybody likes a little bit of garlic kick. And then the paprika. Just color the top of it there, about that much. That should be good. These smell really good, actually. They smell very, very sweet. Start off nice and slow. Okay, let's test this out. Half cut here. And there we go. Our cheese, Master's Classic cheese pimento sandwich. Hello, sir. How are you this evening?
Oh, so good. It's been a day of learning and a day of growth.
Okay. I had a lot of fun with this, and not gonna lie, when you first pitched the idea about pimento sandwiches, I was skeptical at best, and I have been pleasantly surprised. I think I've found a new item for my repertoire, so I really appreciate this opportunity because
they should be called cheese sandwiches with pimentos, because there's very little pimento compared to the amount of cheese. It's 95% cheese.
it is like a giant cheese ball, and I found that after eating several of them, because I've this is my last 2 pieces of bread, so I've had several. We love the pimento sandwich, but I find that it's, if you put something inside it, like cucumbers, nice thick cucumbers, it makes it feel less shameful when you're eating it. I just literally took everything in the bag and put it all in equal proportions. I actually almost forgot to put the pimentos in because I tried to mix it all together in 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Now, can you imagine eating these in 35-degree heat in Augusta, Georgia? Like, they've been out there in the stand all day long. Is that something that is appetizing to you, or is this not something you could eat when you're hot?
No, I think it would just make you sweat and want to melt into some sort of bleacher or something.
I don't know how people could subsist on this when it was hot out. It is definitely not the sort of food you want in your stomach when you are kind of sweaty and walking around a lot. Well, I did a ton of Googling and research, and one of the things I learned is that the original recipe, because Augusta outsources this to a company, and one year they decided they weren't going to go with that company anymore, and so that company said, well, we're not giving you the recipe for anybody else. The original recipe was sort of lost, and they brought in 2 or 3 other companies since then, and fans and players alike say it has never been the same. It was never as good as the original one. And this is kind of like in the 2010s, so it wasn't that long ago.
Wow.
They say now it's got way too much mayo. So that's why I was kind of leery not to put too much mayo in it. But I thought, in retrospect, if I did it again, I would actually put more mayo in. Here's what my sandwich ended up looking like. It's nice and orange and falling off the plate.
I'm going to show you my sandwich here.
Yeah, I want to check it out here.
First off, I toasted the bread. And then the cucumbers, I always got this little system where you kind of cut 5 cucumbers and you can fill a slice of bread.
That is a thick slice of cucumber. Wow.
Yeah. And if you see, there's a lot of cream cheese on both sides. So I buttered both sides of the cream cheese.
The napkin really ties it all together, I think. Well done.
Well, you have to wipe your face because...
Are you ready for the official bite? Here we go.
Hold on one second. I gotta get rid of the crust.
It's pretty good.
Where's that napkin? I lost my napkin.
This is going to get me through the next 4 days of watching the Masters.
I only got one more sandwich left, so...
Save it for Sunday. That's the best round.